Viva Pan America, conversion of Javier Milei. This new leader of Argentina, Javier Milei, let's just call him Javi, excoriated the WEF elites at their grand meeting that their policies are about collectivism, socialism, causing poverty, corporate fascism, is wrecking economies, sending countries broke. Javi's conversion, Catholicism to Judaism. News reports are covering the interesting conversion of Javi, the leader of Argentina, to Judaism for probably what will become one of the 10 king block regions of Revelation 17. Please see these links here, here, and here. Javi, raised a Catholic, now studies Hebrew theology and converted, which may explain the impetus moving the Argentine embassy to Jerusalem City. And Javi quotes Rabbi Akiva, the fox enters the Holy of Holies. The Jerusalem Peace Institute further noted, quote, Argentine President Javi calls for the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem by demolishing Al-Aqsa Mosque in order to bring the Messiah. While Javi never uttered those words, he did quote an apocryphal story from the Talmud's tractate Make It, pages 24 to 24b, whereby Rabbi Akiva and his fellow sages were looking down at the ruins of Herod's temple and saw a fox walking through the place that was once the Holy of Holies. As the rabbis cried, Akiva smiled and laughed. Asked how he could, Akiva retold the two interlinked prophecies of Uriah, who foresaw the day when Jerusalem would be destroyed, and Zechariah, who saw the day it would be rebuilt. Muslims believe the Haram Ash-Sharif, noble sanctuary, compound, which includes the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque, is the third holiest site in Islam, after the ones in Mecca and Medina, both in Saudi Arabia. Any initiative to rebuild a third temple there would trigger a vast religious war. Please see these links. Both articles above should be read. Various countries are moving their embassies these days to be in Jerusalem City, and Argentina is a big country and forms a large block in Pan America, and this official move has the hallmarks of the formation of the 10 kings of Revelation 17. And one will note also the U.S. Embassy moved there in 2018. The problem is this. God states the 10 kings receive power 1 hour with the beast. Revelation 17:12 to 13. And destroy the whore. If Revelation 17:16, unless we forget the 7th king of the same chapter who continues a short space, 17:10. It is without question, this 7th king enters the glorious land, lays the scepter down, and none shall help him. That's Daniel 11:45. It appears the best candidate for the 7th king is getting ready to assume the throne. Daddy is just a mess at this point in time. The talk about the other day about Mexico leads to the same road of 10 kings. The pressing question is this: when is the third temple built as the world's universal temple? Answer, number 1. Commencement of the 8th king of Revelation 17. That's the first beast of Revelation 13. Possibly. Answer 2. prior or near the time the third temple foundation stone is being or to be laid at Al-Aqsa Mosque, which seems to be inferred by Javi in his speech, which, if this should be the case, that definitely raises the fury of the king of the south like a whirlwind against the king of the north. Daniel equals seventh king. Maybe. Answer 3. Prior to the deadly wound. Inevitably. Conversion. The transition from raised a Roman Catholic to the full conversion to Japhet, it should also be noted what the article also says. Javi, who describes himself as an anarchist capitalist, was raised in a Catholic family but studies the Hebrew Bible and feels a deep affinity for Judaism in Israel. And his re-election in November 2023, he prayed at the tomb in New York City of Rabbi Menachem Schneerson, the last leader of the Chabad Lubavitch Chassidic movement. And that is a very important symbolic gesture because Rabbi Schneerson in 1980 met with President George Bush, who signed the education bill, and what was enshrined by Congress was the Noahide Law. See this link. Scarlet Hag, Japhet connections from history. It goes without saying, but needs to be reminded, every time Papa, pointy hat, is seen, he is kissing the hands of Japhet. But how the Scarlet connection from history? The connection was probably established during the Counter-Reformation of the 15th century, and the Marranos later became part of the Jesuit order and worked with Vatican City, keeping in mind that the Alumbrados were rejected as a heresy. Yet what is the difference between St. John of the Cross and Teresa of Avila? They were mystics and achieved the introvertive type mystical experience, which can be depicted a void prior to creation of the material universe. They experienced unity consciousness. Later, the famous Iggy Loyola practiced similar spiritual exercises, but cleared his name by saying they were fighting in a different way. The spiritual exercises appeared to be a reinterpretation of unity consciousness, as seeing God in everything, which appears to be somewhat different than the unity conscious experience itself. But why has the Jesuit order put so much emphasis on these exercises, and why Pierre de Cardin, being the pinnacle of this matter, equals the mega point, was later shut down in the 1950s and 60s? The answer is that it was not for his time. To get an idea of what this form of sophisticated Roman Catholic mysticism equals omega point and the work of Jesuit Pierre de Cardin, see the 5-part New Sphere discussions at this link. Rabbi Akiva Laughing Prophecy 2023. Rabbi Akiva, 50 CE to 135 CE, lived at the time of the destruction of the Second Temple in AD 70, and Laughing Prophecy here and here. Recent sighting of a fox at the Temple Mount in 2023 was sensational. Consider the following reports here. So why would Javi adopt Rabbi Akiva's famous laughing prophecy of the fox entering the most holy place and use this as the acceptance speech of the embassy moving to Jerusalem city? This is important. And to get that answer, first ask yourself, why did Jesus call Herod a fox? In 1331, the same day there came certain of the Pharisees, saying unto him, Get thee out and depart hence, for Herod will kill thee. And he said unto them, Go ye and tell that fox, Behold, I cast out devils, and I do cures today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be perfected. See this link. Why did Jesus call Herod that fox? The laughing prophecy of Rab Akiva is interesting since Jesus referred to Herod Antipas as being a fox, an unclean animal that appears to be cunning. See this link. Herod was an Edomite. Regarding what Rabbi Akiva stated that the temple would be rebuilt and the cunning fox aspect appears to be a replay of 2 Thessalonians 2, man of sin, another deceiver. But we know the house was already left desolate, as foretold by he who made in Matthew 23:38. Bar Kokhba. It is to be noted by comparison, Bar Kokhba, who lived at the time of Akiva, enters the picture, and he was perceived by the rabbis to be the Messiah of Judaism, following the destruction of the temple. Fact is, Simon Bar Kokhba was ruthless, and Akiva backed him up. Now consider what Daniel 8:24 states, that the man of fierce countenance equals the eighth king, who is also clever. He does get rid of all his potential enemies. Now, notice how Daniel explains that small detail. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice and destroy the mighty and the holy people. For those who wish to research Daniel 8:23-24 and Rabbi Akiva laughing prophecy, ask yourself, does the eighth king of the third temple turn against the synagogue of Satan because they worship at the feet of the Philadelphians in Revelation 3, in the Psalms 83 war against the remnant?